that there was just a crush of people that kind of funneled through is on a really steep incline. And so we're not completely sure what factors led into that. But yeah, it was a lot of people in a very crowded neighborhood.
Yeah. And at least 151 people have died in a crush in Seoul, the capital of South Korea. Another 82 people are injured. It happened in a popular nightlife area where a Halloween event was being held. Bryan Pietsch is a staff writer for The Washington Post and joins us from Seoul now. Bryan, hello, thanks for joining us. Can you just bring us the latest? What do we know about what happened?
Yeah, so the death count has gone up and it's at about 151 people right now. I think what's happening today is they're still working. I think they're at about 90% of the dead have been identified, and they're going through thousands of reports of missing people. I would imagine that that could be resolved, I think, probably by the end of the day today. And so it's really kind of like with a lot of people are just reckoning with what happened last night. I think it came as a shock to a lot of people, and so I think in the coming days, um, it'll be a lot of like dealing with what happened, but also asking today. A lot of questions are being surfaced about police presence and how a situation like this was allowed to happen.
Can you tell us about the event itself? What it was? Is it a kind of annual thing? Just talk us through the kind of context, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was just one event. I don't know if that's like the most accurate way to
Mm.
describe it. I think Itaewon it's the nightlife district of Seoul. There are other neighborhoods where nightlife occurs, but it is the most popular and the most central one. And so everybody knew that this weekend for Halloween would be a big event. It's just, I mean, a lot of cities have this where there's
Mm.
like the one main street where everybody goes out, and so it's a big hub of bars and clubs and other things. And so it seems to be that there was one specific area in a lot of these streets. There's one main street, but then off of on the north and south side of the street, there's a lot of smaller side streets. And so there was an alleyway between two buildings. One of them was a big hotel complex. And it appears that there was just a crush of people that kind of funneled through is on a really steep incline. And so we're not completely sure what factors led into that, but yeah, it was a lot of people in a very crowded neighborhood.
Yeah. There have been several press conferences and things in the aftermath of the crush. Is it becoming clearer what happened? Are the police kind of coming forward with more details, or are we still too early, really, in that sort of process?
It's still too early. What they've been saying is that their first priority is identifying all of the deceased people. It seems to be that that's been the case today. I think slowly they're starting to acknowledge that there was not quite a robust police presence out there. It actually just came in that some of the police presence had been at another event earlier in the day, more farther north in the city for political protests. I'm not sure if those are directly related, but that is part of what's kind of coming out at the moment. Um, but yeah, there's still a lot of questions about what exactly happened. There were a lot of unconfirmed rumors last night about certain circumstances that might have contributed, but a lot of confusion about what happened last night
Yeah,
still.
of course, and that's understandable at this stage. Just in terms of where we go from here, then, Bryan. Notably, South Korea's president has declared a period of national mourning. What does that mean? What are the implications of that? I suppose, and what is the atmosphere like in Seoul today?
Yeah, the atmosphere in Seoul is it's a little bit interesting. I was out shortly after sunrise this morning on the scene where everything happened, and it almost seemed normal. You're walking around these like very hilly neighborhood, beautiful views of Seoul. People are walking their dogs and sweeping, cleaning up the streets. There were elderly women collecting cans and bottles. Um, and then you come across the police tape, and it's just kind of a reminder of what happened. And you get to the main street, and it's completely shut down. And this is, a busy street that always has cars going through it, and it was completely blocked off. And so the general sentiment that is kind of felt around the city is just shock. I think, people just don't know how to grapple with something of this scale. And I just walked into our office here, and it's a beautiful day in Seoul. It's sunny, it's very warm, and on any other day, it would be a really great day in Seoul, and it just is, unfortunately, a very tragic day.
Bryan, we appreciate you joining us on the programme this morning. Thank you very much. Thanks for taking the time.